Everyone, good morning. Welcome to Houzz Australia's How to Win Best of Houzz 2018 webinar. My name's Olivia. I'm sure I've met a lot of you at events or in these webinars before, so thank you for joining again this morning. In the session today, we also have Emily with me, and Em will be online to answer any questions or just have a chat. So if at any stage you can't hear me, or maybe the slides aren't going or anything like that, any other questions do come up, please just pop them in the questions tab or in the chat tab that you should see in that GoToWebinar control panel. And if at any point you can't hear me or the screen's not moving or anything like that, ask a question, but also don't worry because we are recording this whole session, so we can send that to you after and you can kind of catch up on anything that you may have missed as well. So I think the majority of people are online now, so we can get started. So today what we're going to cover is pretty exciting. It's coming up to a very exciting time at Houzz right now. So what we're going to be covering is the Best of Houzz Awards. So basically what the awards actually are. A lot of you have maybe seen the award badge, but never really understood how that has ended up on your profile or how you can get it. I'll cover the benefits of Best of Houzz and also just some best practices and some action items for you so you can really kind of up your chances of actually winning this year. So first of all, before I kind of dive into all of these points, it is important to first just understand the 5 layers of Houzz, just so you can see all of these different areas and aspects of the platform that you should really be diving into. Your best chance of winning a Best of Houzz Design or Service Award is really if you're engaging in each of these different layers on Houzz. So those are photos, editorial, products, discussion, and services. So just to kind of give a very brief overview, and I know a lot of you are super familiar with the platform, so this is kind of second nature to you already. But the photos become very important, definitely in terms of Best of Houzz Design. So when we're looking at photos, I'm talking about this photo stream here, where we actually have 14 million photos sitting in this section. So what you need to do is really dive into your photos and make sure you're uploading your most recent work, your best work, and you're really doing them justice by adding in all of this metadata, keywords, and descriptions to just make it a whole lot easier for people to find your work. Because when our users dive into this photos section, they are looking at this left-hand side to really filter their results. They're looking at photos and filtering by room, by style, location, budget, maybe color, all of these different aspects. And I'll definitely dive into this a bit later again. Then we have Find Professionals. So this is where people actually find your business. So it's a business listing. You guys have professional profiles on Houzz, so you are listed in here. And really all of the engagement and activity that you do on your profile feeds this ranking. So you get more exposure in here, basically by just doing more on your profile. And again, users jump in, they search by category and they search by location. Our product stream then works very similar to our photo stream, but obviously product specific. So this is when you can find amazing local products and also showcase your own. Just as important to be very specific and add in a lot of metadata and keywording to your product photos as well. We then have Houzz Discussions. Houzz Discussions, or our advice section, is a fantastic place to get involved with the community. This is a fantastic place if you have ever won Best of Houzz service to show it off here, show off your customer service expertise in here, or really just engage in the community. You can see on the left-hand side, there's a whole range of different topics that are a bit more relevant to you, where you can dive in and easily just get involved in any discussion or poll that is running. And lastly, we have our stories. So this is Editorial, and our Editorial is fantastic. It features local products, local professionals, and local projects, all from within the Houzz community. If you are ever featured in Editorial, it's a huge amount of additional exposure straight into our community, which can really feed into your just general profile engagement, but also ensure that you may very well win one of the Best of Houzz Design Awards. So let's go into those Best of Houzz Awards. So first of all, what is Best of Houzz, or BOH as we sometimes abbreviate it to? So you've probably come across Best of Houzz just because you may have seen it pop up on your own profile or on someone else's profile on Houzz if you're just browsing. And that would just look like one of these little badges on the left-hand side where you can just see 3 Houzz Awards, and this pro has actually won Design and Service this year and Service the year before. So Best of Houzz is a community-based award, and what that means is that we at Houzz don't decide who wins. Our global community of 40 million users and design enthusiasts, they decide. So the Best of Houzz Awards are given out once a year at the beginning of the year, so you'll usually find out in January if you are a winner. And why we have these awards? Well, basically, Best of Houzz exists because we want to make sure that the pros who are investing a lot of time and effort on Houzz and on your profile are rewarded. And you're rewarded straight from our community. Another common question we get asked is about the exclusivity of these awards. So just so you're aware, it's a very small percentage of pros who win. So actually only 3 to 4% of Houzz professionals win each year. So we like to celebrate our best pros on Houzz. So winning an award is a really big deal, and we do want to make sure that you know that it is a really big deal and quite an exciting time if you do win either Best of Houzz Design or Best of Houzz Service. So what are the benefits of winning Best of Houzz? Well, having a badge on your profile definitely straight away gives extra credibility to those clients looking and just browsing at your profile page. And these badges are given to you by Houzz to help you promote the award. We really do want you to showcase and promote your win to the community. And that definitely goes beyond just seeing the badge on your profile. I've seen a lot of professionals add their Best of Houzz badges to their website, their email signatures, on their trade show stands, showroom windows, or even their cars as well. I have some photos of those too. And we also promote you and your winning status. So we promote your profile and drive awareness within the community. And we do this as well by having a dedicated landing page, which I'll just show you next. And that page is where our global users can browse the local Best of Houzz winners. We will also give all winners a press release template to share within their own network and community of clients. And I would definitely recommend sharing this press release with local press, as they are very keen to always highlight local or regional success stories. Like we have a few examples just on the screen here. And of course, there's social sharing, which is very easy. And if you are a winner of either one of the Best of Houzz awards, we do give you social tiles that are very easy to just implement into your social channels and just post straight away. And now on the screen, you can see an example of the landing page that I just mentioned earlier. And this is the landing page of winning photos that we publish just year on year. And we create this page so that our users can go in and see some of the Best of Houzz design winners and their projects. This page also encourages users to save winners' photos into their idea books, resulting in you and your photos just getting even more exposure and just even more saves as well. And just on the benefits too, I do have this great quote from a pro up here. So Avocado Sweets Design Studio. And they have this fantastic quote about what it meant for them to win this award. And they actually did win 2 years in a row, which is really great. So now that you know what Best of Houzz is, let's talk about how you can really set yourself up for the best chance to win. And we'll start with Best of Houzz Design. So I've mentioned there's these 2 awards. There's Best of Houzz Design and Best of Houzz Service. I'll just dive straight into the Design Award first. So Best of Houzz Design is awarded to professionals for a specific photo that has been saved the most globally into idea books. And that is specific to this year. So this is done by category and also by metro area. So to give a few examples, you might win a Best of Houzz Design Award for a particular kitchen photo that was the most popular in Sydney for 2017, or the most popular bathroom photo in Adelaide. This is why it's important to really properly categorize your photos by location when you upload them to Houzz. And again, popularity is based on the number of times your photo has been saved into our idea books in the past year on Houzz. And it doesn't matter where that user is based. So you could have the most saves, and those saves have come from Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and the UK, and India as well. It doesn't matter. We are just looking at the most saves of this past 12 months. And just to touch on how those photos are saved, everyone does kind of understand idea books and how they work. They are those visual scrapbooks. So it's important to note that just when people are coming onto Houzz and they're spending the most amount of time in that photo stream, so the first layer that I showed earlier, they're spending time in here looking for ideas, looking for inspiration, looking for information behind each photo, and they're saving them into their idea books. So that save function allows them to save any photo from Houzz into idea books, which look like this. And these idea books become their visual scrapbooks, their online scrapbooks, but they also become kind of like a short list of professionals that they want to work with. So now that we do understand how photos are saved to idea books and why people would save photos into idea books, I'll just give a few suggestions of best practices. So these best practices are specific to the Best of Houzz Design Award. So number one, upload new projects as soon as possible. Use a professional photographer. So the best quality or just very kind of professional quality photography will always be the most popular on Houzz. Really, a good photo is always going to be a good photo, and that will definitely get you the most engagement. It goes beyond that, really adding facets, keywords, and other information really can aid search results and just make sure that the most relevant users are saving your work. And then there's get featured in Editorial, which I'll dive into a bit later. It's not just as easy as saying, I want to be featured, but it is about adding all that information to your photos and then proactively engaging in our editorial team as well. So we can go straight into uploading new projects. So you should really upload them as soon as possible. And it's quite easy to upload a project. Everyone would have seen the new project symbol there, or upload photos or files on the right-hand side. Very easy, and it's quite intuitive to upload new photos to a project. What is important is, number one, that you're uploading new projects, your most recent work, and that they are good quality photos. The second is that you're really diving into all of these different facets and areas of the project page to ensure that people will definitely find your work. Because it's easy to kind of skim past all this information and not include it, but really this is how you get the most saves on Houzz and how you get quite popular on the platform. So the easiest to definitely include is always to include a category of your photo and include some keywords there. But it does go deeper than that. So when you're on that page, and I've just broken it down over the past next few slides, when you're uploading a project, definitely include a project address. So you can see there that it does increase your visibility to homeowners looking for professionals who have worked in their area. So I would include as much detail as you can in that project address bar. And like it says in brackets, it will not be shared publicly. So you don't have to worry about the client's address being shown on our website. It won't at all. It just really assists in the search results. And then under that category, like I just said, very important to make sure your photos are categorized straight from here. The next section is often overlooked, but it is very important. So this is project year, project cost, and your style. So these three areas are easy to just skim across or not include when you're uploading photos. And I know it can be quite time consuming to do this, but this is exactly how people search on Houzz. So if you've uploaded a project here and you have included details in each of these facets, that will then directly impact how people find your work when they're in the photos section. Because people jump in here and they search by style. So straight away, 14 million photos can become 1 million photos if I was to select beach style. And also people go in and they again filter by location, by budget, by size, and by year as well. So you're really helping your chances of being found by just simply including a little bit of info on that upload page. A couple of do's and don'ts. So definitely upload residential spaces. So Houzz is largest community for home design and renovation, so we really are looking for residential work. Good quality photos, like I said, are definitely important, and we can take up to 30 megabytes per photo, so you can really upload your largest images here. Please don't upload photos that have watermarks or logos on them because they just will not be found by our community. When you upload a photo to Houzz, we automatically watermark that with your name, and your photo just isn't watermarked. That name is actually then a link to your profile. So you're always credited, your name is always on your work, so you don't have to worry ever about losing that credit. The next thing is our professional photographer network. So definitely use a professional photographer for your work, or for maybe your most recent work or your favorite projects or your best projects. Make sure you are getting a professional photographer to jump in and give you some amazing photos. So our photography network is fantastic. It basically is like a matchmaking system between professionals on Houzz and photographers. So on this network, you can find a photographer anywhere in Australia or New Zealand, and you can hire them at a discounted rate. So do check it out. Make sure you mention that you found them via the Houzz Photographer Network, and you can definitely get your first deal at a discounted rate. I've just left the link up there. All you need to go to is houzz.com.au or houzz.co.nz/getphotos to just check out that network straight away. And we really do value professional photography on Houzz, not just us, but the community really, really does. So I would definitely encourage you to jump in here and just check out a couple of photographers in your local area. The third tip is add metadata, fill out facets, and categorize your photos. So what I was just speaking about in terms of facets and those fields we just looked at, those are relevant to your entire project. But once photos are uploaded to your profile, you can then go really deep into each photo you've uploaded and add a whole range of detail to that photo. And this is really important because it will definitely improve the chances of your photos appearing in relevant searches. And it really just helps our users find the best photos, the most relevant photos, and the photos of projects in the areas that they want to work with. So any photo on Houzz, be it if it was uploaded just 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago, it always has this pencil icon down the bottom right that you can click into, and it will open up this whole world of different facets to choose from on the right-hand side. So the first thing to go into is category. So before, when you uploaded this photo, you may have just put it in the spaces category or products category. This is your chance to dive in and choose the specific space that it actually is. So for this photo on the screen, this is a living room. So I would then put it in the living room category. So straight away, my photo is now found in a smaller search pool. Then, based on whatever category I had just selected, all of these different category facets will then change. So facets are all of these drop-down menus on the right-hand side. So where it says budget, size, type, etc., those are what I'm talking about when I say facets. And these have changed to be specific to living room features. So it then says TV type, the wall color, fireplace, fireplace surround, a couple of different design features of the living room that I could choose to include or not include. If this photo was of a kitchen, it might have sink type, splashback, counter, etc. So more kitchen specific facets. Very important to include any relevant detail in here, because again, that's how users search. Users definitely go into that photo stream, and I've gone from looking at 14 million photos to then selecting living room, which has taken me down to less than 1.5 million photos straight away. Then I've chosen contemporary as a style, and you can see the search results have gone down significantly again, and that is just by selecting 2 different facets in this photo search. And then to just give more of an example, if I'm looking specifically at open plan living rooms, again, the photos search goes way down. And then if I'm looking very specifically, because I know exactly what I want a contemporary open living room with concrete floors, wall-mounted TV, and maybe some white walls. Now I'm only looking at just over 300 photos. So just by including a couple of details in those photos you uploaded, you have straight away gone from being one of 14 million to just one of 300, which is exactly where you want to be. Or even 36 to be even better. And then the next thing are keywords and descriptions. So the keywords that you may have included when you uploaded the whole project, they may be a bit more broad, like living room renovation, contemporary living room. But on this photo and on each photo you upload, you have the opportunity to go even deeper and more specific. So like this pro has put in antique rhino statue, which is very specific, or geometric coffee table. Those are very specific that are really describing what's happening in the photo. The same thing has been done for their description, where they've just put in one sentence which is really descriptive and really helps the users understand what's going on in the photo. These also directly impact your search results. One thing on keywords and description, make sure that they are relevant to the photo. So don't just be adding keywords that you think may be popular or what users want. Really, they need to be relevant to your photos. Otherwise, for one, we can see those, and then we can always give you a call to give you some assistance in kind of removing or updating those keywords. And it just doesn't really help the user if they're coming across photos that don't fit their actual search keywords. So looking at this photo, for example, and the example I just showed of geometric coffee table, if someone was searching for a geometric coffee table just straight on Houzz, this photo has actually come up as the very first search result. So that's super powerful. So this photo has been so popular on Houzz. They're a Melbourne architect, and this photo has been saved thousands and thousands of times. And really the pro has done that themselves, because they have included very specific keywords and filled out all those facets to ensure that people are finding their work. Lastly, on photos, and a really great best practice is to try and get featured in Editorial. So I mentioned Editorial as one of our 5 layers of Houzz earlier. You can always find our latest stories, or all of our stories, up in the stories bar that I've highlighted there. When you get featured in Editorial, it is a huge amount of additional exposure. Your photos are featured, your name and watermark is on that photo, so it then creates a link going directly back to your profile for people to check out your work. And our editorial team, they are scanning the site daily, looking for images to feature, projects to feature, and just new work that they think would really resonate with the community. So if you are categorizing your photos well and keywording those photos correctly, this really helps to make those photos be found by the team. So including all this metadata and keywords doesn't just help our user base and your potential clients that are finding your work, but it also helps your chances of being featured in the editorial, which is a really exciting thing. So just as a best of Houzz design what not to do, don't be uploading very dark or low quality or very cluttered photos either. Don't upload the same photo multiple times. Even if it's an accident, if you've accidentally done it, I would definitely delete, just have one of each. And do make sure you're not filling the photo with irrelevant keywords or incorrect facets. It really doesn't serve your photos well or the users, and it will actually just hurt your chances of winning the Best of Houzz Design Award. So let's move on to now Best of Houzz Service. So this is the other Best of Houzz Award, and you can win this for customer service. So on the screen, you can see that you must have at least one review from a client for a project completed in the past year, and your profile must maintain an average star rating of 4.5. So how do you win this category? Well, it's basically all about quality reviews. So like I just said, maintain that 4.5 average. And that's really the only requirement. So that requirement is just that you must have that one review from a client from the last year. But really, the more reviews, the better. So just looking at these best practices, the more reviews, the better. So just more is more. Definitely respond to reviews. So be them good or bad, definitely engage with whoever has reviewed you. And set expectations from the start of every project. That is the best way to ensure that by the end of the project, you will be getting a review from that client. So, looking at some best practices, we often get asked how to gather reviews from former or current clients. Our one recommendation is just to really introduce them to Houzz right at the beginning of your project. So maybe that's through idea books and collaborating on idea books together, so you know they're familiar with the platform, they're familiar with your profile, so then it makes it very easy for them to then review you at the end of the project. This has been a really effective practice for many of our pros, and it really just means that the client is very engaged and very educated on Houzz straight from the get-go. So now when we're looking at your profile page, and like I say, the more reviews, the better. And I wouldn't just wait for reviews to come through to you. What we do on Houzz is give you the opportunity to actually request reviews, so you can be really proactive in asking your clients, asking colleagues, or anyone else you've collaborated with on projects. So if we just jump into the reviews tab on your profile, I would jump in here today and send out a review request to anyone that you have worked with, collaborated with on a project, be it a client or another professional. This Get Reviews section is basically a built-in email in your profile. So you can enter email addresses in that top bar, and then down the bottom you can customize a message to send to them. This will send them an email straight from here, and it will come from you, so it doesn't look spammy or anything like that. And then they have the opportunity to review you directly from that email. I would definitely suggest when you are sending out these review requests to definitely customize the message. You can see that Kirsty here has customized this message down below. Otherwise, if you don't customize it, we have put in a default message there, but ultimately it's always best to just put it in your own words. These are 2 review requests that worked quite well. I have changed the details, the names and all of that, but these come from 2 professionals who are getting a lot of reviews on Houzz. So this is just a great example of an easy email you can send to anyone, and they are more likely to definitely post a review back. The second best practice is to definitely respond to reviews, be them good or bad. So not everyone is 100% of the time, and that is totally fine. And then other times, just some slightly negative reviews can come through on your profile. Reviews are never anonymous, they're never spammy, never have swear words, anything like that on Houzz. But sometimes a review will come through for you that isn't 5 out of 5, and that is totally fine. The best practice in that sense is to always respond to a review. You have the opportunity on all of your reviews to comment back, and when you do comment back, it closes the discussion as well. So it's not like then the reviewer can reply again and you start a whole discussion. Really, it just closes that off straight from here. This is one great example from Harrison's Landscaping. Harrison actually now has about 20 reviews, so he has quite a lot, and he has always had that 5 or 4.5 star rating up the top. This one review that came through was a 3-star, and it did kind of debate payment terms on a contract, but Harrison was able to send a really fantastic response that showed off his expertise, his customer service skills, and just his personality as well. And that did not hurt his reputation, his Houzz profile, or his engagement at all. And he really is like a year-on-year Best of Houzz winner as well. So it definitely does work. And then set expectations from the start of every project. That is the easiest way to ensure that someone will leave you a review. It's often hard when you get to the end of a project to then say, oh, if you could follow this link, give me a review on this platform and also on this platform and also on this one. But if you do set the expectation from the start, that will be the easiest way to make sure you get some reviews back. Like I mentioned, collaborating on idea books is a fantastic way to start. So when you do kick off a project with a client and you're in those early stages of really kind of hashing out what it is they want for, say, their bathroom, definitely go into this Add or Edit Collaborators button on any idea book to make sure you're inviting them into this so you can share ideas and have that whole conversation one place on Houzz. And a couple of what not to do's. Don't enter reviews yourself or have your team do it. So just definitely don't do that. We do have a system in place that checks every single review that is posted on Houzz. So essentially a team that reviews the reviews. So we know how to spot reviews that are written by yourself. And secondly, just don't ask employees, family, friends to review. Really, they have to be real clients, and they will really be the most heavily weighted on your profile as well. So I've left a couple of resources for you as well as just some great next steps. So on Houzz Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, we have a Pro Centre, and this can give you some really useful tips and resources to just go back to make sure your profile is ticking all those boxes. So particularly with Best of Houzz and the awards, you want to make sure your photos are up there, that they're looking fantastic and they're ticking all the boxes. So you may want to jump into this quick tutorial section that I've highlighted to make sure that you have uploaded your photos in the best way, you've organized your projects in the best way, you've added keywords, and you've tagged products in those photos. These tutorials are fantastic. You could either watch them or you could read them, and they're very easy kind of resources to follow along. There's also a fantastic one you can see on the right there that is all about reviews that will really be a great resource for the Best of Houzz Service Award. And then if you do win, make sure you showcase it. So when you do win a Best of Houzz award, we give you a whole range of different things to definitely make sure that you are showcasing your win, be it through stickers or on social. These are some examples from this year of the different stickers that people have included on their cars or on windows. On social and on websites. This team was amazing. It actually had shirts made up on the left-hand side there. And then social is that easiest way to get some direct engagement and just very quickly showcase your fantastic win. I did lastly just want to talk about Pro Plus and what a fantastic tool this is to showcase your Best of Houzz award as well. A lot of our Pro Plus customers use their premium profile to show off their award quite well and quite directly. So Pro Plus, if you don't know, is an exclusive paid version of a Houzz profile. And this premium profile provides local branding, essentially. And the way it works is you buy areas of Australia or New Zealand, which are split up. And we make sure your photos and your profile are shown in these areas thousands of times a month. So say if you live in Melbourne and you want to attract clients in specific areas in Melbourne, then you can buy this area of Australia to guarantee that local exposure. So your free profile is shown across the globe on a daily basis. So every photo that you upload is seen globally to a fantastic, very engaged global audience. But this doesn't guarantee that your photos are being seen in the local area that you want. So that's where Pro Plus comes in, because Pro Plus, you receive sponsored photos in the area that you want clients. So because your photos are appearing more in those local areas, that therefore just helps your idea book saves and your numbers there. So this can really directly impact how likely it is, especially for you to win that Best of Houzz Design Award. So you can see on here, there's a couple of examples of Pro Plus advertisers who really do know the value of showcasing their award. You can see the Best of Houzz tag on their profile, on their byline there, and then also on the projects section on the left. So a lot of fantastic opportunity there. If you did want to know more about this program, you can always chat to Emily or I in the chat right now or after this session as well. Lastly, as some next steps and really actionable items that you can do right now, ask for reviews from a project from this year. So if you're looking at your profile and you have some fantastic reviews, but they are from older projects, definitely ask your most recent clients to add in a review as soon as possible. In terms of photos, find a professional photographer. You can go to that photographer network if you do want just a direct link to some discounted rates. That's right there. And upload your best photos from this year. So make sure, like the review, the project is relevant and it is new. It is from the last 12 months. And please don't forget to keyword them and fill in all of those facets. If this has been a lot of information, or if you just want to really kind of see, okay, how is my profile kind of sitting amongst the pack and what kind of gaps can I fill in, you can always book in a complimentary consultation to make sure that your profile is looking best. And you can do that with the team here that sits in Sydney just by following this link on the screen. So booknow.so/houzau. You can book in a time with the team here in Sydney, and they can really help you boost up your profile right now to make sure that when the awards season rolls around, which is December, that you are definitely in the running and have a really good shot at winning. So please do save that link. You all have my email address, so if anything does come up, you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to just directly email me and I can definitely help answer any questions. In the meantime, hope to see more projects and more reviews come on your profile as soon as possible. And thanks for joining this morning. Thank you.